Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Watcher, a YouTube channel that is about watching professional wrestling. So recently WWE did a long list of talent cuts. In fact, they're still apparently discussing some. One of the main names that was released recently was Aleister Black. Now if you remember, Aleister Black was on the NXT roster from I believe 2016 to 19. He was on the main WWE roster from 19 to 21, and then he eventually went over to AEW after being released. He was in AEW for, I believe, 4 years, before coming back to WWE in 2025. After coming back, he had a notable feud against Damian Priest. He had some backstage segments with Randy Orton. But other than that, those are the two big things he did that were at least noteworthy. He has been released. Now the question is, there's talk of AEW bringing him back, but there's also been talk that some of the roster in AEW doesn't want him back, that he was unwilling or did not want to do jobs to certain wrestlers, and that perhaps he had a bad attitude. Now look, I think he's a pretty good performer in the ring. I think him and his wife, Zelina Vega, who unfortunately was also released, make an interesting duo to sign. Can he be a draw? Look, he's a talented wrestler, so by extension, he can at least be some kind of a draw, right? He's heavily tattooed, which is good, and which doesn't bother me, but, the more you think about it, TKO and that corporate structure, I often wonder, how does a big corporation like TKO look at a guy who's really tatted up like Aleister Black? It could be good, could be bad. There's a lot of tattooed wrestlers on that roster. Now that I think about it, there's Rhea Ripley, Dominic. But maybe they just think of Aleister Black and they see a much lower ceiling than those guys. I think he has a pretty high floor, though. There's only too far he can really drop. You think of Aleister Black, and I don't think you'll ever think job guy. So I definitely think there's drawing potential there. Now, if you went back to AEW, the question is, who could he work with? I could see him and Will Ospreay having some matches. I could see Aleister Black and Darby Allin definitely having a very interesting program. I think they might have already. I could definitely see them getting back together, though. But there's places for him to go. I think Brody King is still there at AEW. Aleister Black coming back. You can easily redo some kind of House of Black or a tag team with those two. The potential's there, right? But, you gotta be willing to do jobs. You gotta be willing to lose. Because, if you're not willing to lose, hardly ever, how can they trust you to win and carry a title? If they put a title on you for a run and have a plan for you to drop it to this guy or that guy, and you decide, no, I'm not going to do that, how can a company truly ever get behind you? So I guess it really just depends on him. That's all for this one, guys. Thank you.